Hi, my name is Scott Sandler, and I work at ThinkIQ. And today I would like to demonstrate a prototype of the CESMII Smart Manufacturing Profile Editor. I'm going to start by logging into the CESMII Smart Manufacturing portal, which is being developed as a marketplace for manufacturing companies, machine builders, software vendors, etc., to come together to accelerate the development of information-enabled manufacturing. Now, the Smart Manufacturing Profile Designer is really a place that allows machine builders to create a digital expression of the equipment that they're building. Oftentimes we have machine builders creating skidded equipment that has, say, batch tanks and controllers and actuators and all of this stuff put together for as close to plug and play as is practical experience. Manufacturers then buy these skidded pieces of equipment and introduce them to a new manufacturing line or maybe retrofit some existing equipment. The challenges on this, of course, are still fairly significant. There's plumbing and wiring, electrical checkout, you have to do process validation, you have to do all of your I/O checkout, etc. And by the time that all of that's taken place, usually a considerable amount of time and money has been spent. Probably even have lost production time while this is all taking place. Many times manufacturers run out of gas or steam so that they never even take the time to information enable that equipment. As a result, you have a lot of smart equipment on the plant floor that could be telling us lots of information on how to improve our process, increase yields, things like that, but we never really gave them a voice to do so. The Smart Manufacturing Profile is intended to simplify that last step. If a machine builder, when creating their machine, was to go a little bit further and define some basic attributes of that machine, the I/O mapping to those attributes, and put this into a consumable format, then partnering software vendors can create solutions that can easily discover those pieces of equipment and bring those into solutions that could provide various benefits for the manufacturer. In this demonstration, I'm going to act as if I'm a machine builder working for a company called Batch & Stir, a manufacturer of skidded batch tank solutions. And I've just logged into the CESMII profile builder here, and we can see a few things down the left side navigation. We can see a collection of my existing profiles, and what this is lists of different pieces of equipment I've already defined. And I'll come back to that in a second. We could also see a list of some base equipment types provided by CESMII. These things aren't necessarily end-to-end completed definition of a piece of equipment, but maybe common things that different machine builders could start their definition from, simplifying the process, and we'll show a little bit of that in just a minute. Then ultimately we have the shared profiles. Sure, the batch and stir profiles that we saw a second ago are listed here, but if we go a little bit further, we could see additional profiles from other vendors. So we have some things for mixing and capping and filling, etc. And the idea here is these are all of the profiles that different CESMII machine builder members have shared, making available to the greater marketplace. A little further down below, we have a very, very prototypical area referring to applications. And what these would be is different applications that software vendors could register with the CESMII site, and then manufacturing companies could come and provision and stand up. And the idea is because they're using shared technology, they should have easy integration, not just with the machine builder profiles, but with each other's applications as well. More to come on that in a future presentation. Now, coming back to the profile here, let's assume I work for Batch & Stir, and we've just completed building out a 1,000-gallon batch tank. I want to create a profile for that. And so I click the Add Profile button, and I'm going to name this my BNS 1000, because that's consistent with my other naming convention. And I can give it a simple description here, like 1,000-gallon batch tank with agitation or something like that. And I could start at this point adding attributes and give it a name, a description, value type, and give it some default addressing to tags and controllers. A simpler way to do this, though, is to say this profile is actually going to inherit from something that already exists. And the choices I have are either all of the things that I've already created as a member of Batch and Stir, or all of the things that CESMII has made available to machine building partners. So in this case, if I start with the CESMII batch tank, it will inherit the base attributes of the very generic batch tank that CESMII has. Now it's not perfect. I could still add some descriptions here, indicates if agitator is running, say is filling, is discharging, and we can see that we have some data types already selected for those things. And if we wanted to, we could go so far as to say, you know what, this particular thing, this level sensor, this is going to actually point to a known location in my controller. And so the idea on this is we could put an appropriate path in here that a software vendor's application would be able to resolve back to the controller address. And some of that is dependent on the software vendor's application and how it makes connectivity to that data. But in this case, we're just going to address this like 192.168.1.1 : level. And I'm going to copy that because that's going to be pretty close to right for the rest of this. And now I'm going to put in agitation and inlet and outlet. Now I could stop here, but it might make sense for me to put a couple of what we call meta tags on this profile as well. And all a meta tag is kind of a searchable term. So we tend to sell this tank to food and beverage folks. People are looking for batch solutions, and that's probably good enough. But what that does when we create it is creates our new batch tank. We can see it here. We put a couple extra meta tags on this, and now if I was to do something like search for food, we could find any tanks that match that. Now we could also come back and view what the characteristics of that are, or we could edit it if we wanted to add some more attributes, etc. Now, what I haven't done here, obviously, is share this. So if I was to come over here to my shared profiles and search for food, for instance, well, my BNS 1000 is not there. This means that nobody else can find it either. So in order for people to take advantage of this profile, I need to go ahead and click this share button. And at this point, we could verify again that it is here. In fact, it's right at the top of the list, so I don't have to do any searching. And now this profile is ready to be consumed. In the next video, I'll show you how an application can make use of these shared profiles to streamline integration with equipment. Thank you.